Hey everyone, welcome to the Best Strategies to Grow Community and Retain Members webinar. This is Anastasia from Spacebring, and I'm today joined by Liz Finnie from the Generator Hub. We are really excited to have this conversation today and share our knowledge and expertise on building communities and co-working spaces. It will be really great if you just go to the chat section below and send us some hi messages, introduce yourself a little bit, and share from what city you come from, whether you already have a co-working space or not yet, what kind of community you have. It will be really great to get to know everyone. Before we get started, I want to share a few more housekeeping rules. On the bottom of your screen, you can see a Q&A section. Feel free to ask us any questions that come to your mind today. We will have a dedicated time during the webinar, during which we will answer all of these questions and just provide our knowledge on as much as we can on whatever you ask us today. Also, this webinar is recorded, so all of you will get a video of it by the end of this week. I will check our chat messages. Don't hesitate to ask us something here or send us a hi message. We're really looking forward to it. And so let's get started. For the recap, my name is Anastasia, and I am from Spacebring company. Spacebring is the company which develops the co-working space software. We are building the product that allows you to automate operations in the space and efficiently process all operations, save time, and boost efficiency, and essentially retain members and make them happier with you. I personally myself, I'm leading customer happiness team at Spacebring, and today I will share my experience with you of communication with many co-working spaces worldwide and how they build their communities, what they do to retain members. I'm really excited to introduce my guest for today. It's Liz Finnie. Liz is the co-founder and lead of operations in the Generator Hub, fantastic working space in the Exeter, UK. Liz, I would love you to introduce yourself and share what Generator Hub space is all about.
Thank you, Anastasia, and hi to everyone that's logged in here. Thanks to Spacebring for having me on. I'm really excited to share my knowledge. So yeah, I'm Liz Finnie. You can find me as Elizabeth Finnie on LinkedIn. I'm co-founder and operations director at the Generator Hub. As I said, we're based in Exeter, which is a city on the southwest of the UK. It's about 120 population, so it's quite small. It's very sort of university focused city, lots of students. So we're an independent co-work space. We're based down at the quayside on Exeter, which is like a really vibrant, bustly river location, surrounded by lots of shops and local cafes. So there's a real buzz down here, especially in the summer months. You can like hire boats and bikes and yeah, just loads of independent eateries. We were actually founded 12 years ago. So yes, I am a co-founder. We hadn't planned to open a co-work space. It kind of happened a little bit by accident. The story is my husband and also co-founder, Neil, we were living up in York in the northeast of the UK. Neil was working for a travel company, so volunteering abroad company, and they were based in St Albans, so he was working remotely. And I was working for a medical device company doing stem cells and tissue engineering, so quite a different thing to what I'm doing now. His company relocated to Exeter, and because I was on maternity leave, we decided to follow them down. And he was working on the Academy of Internships program, but he was finding that the students going on these programs just weren't really getting the real engagement they wanted with these companies. So the company then he was working for moved to South Africa, and we decided to stay put because we didn't want to move again. He founded a company called Corkscrew. So he was bringing students from overseas on the Erasmus program, and he wanted them to be immersed in like a real time business sort of environment. So because of that, and I was then doing freelance medical writing, now we wanted to start our own co-work space. So that is where the Generator was born, really. We hired an apprentice to run the community side of it. And actually one of our early members, Jim Strong, decided he loved the concept so much he wanted to join the team. So he's now one of our partners as well. So that's where the generator was born.
Exciting story. Thanks for sharing it with us, Liz. I know that really Generator Hub members are super happy to have you just accidentally open the space like you did and just starting that working business in your city. Today, our conversation will be not only about gaining new customers, which is, of course, super important for everyone, but we will talk on how you can retain those members who come to you and essentially just make them renew all these memberships. I know that Generator Hub really has a super huge retention rate, and I talked with Liz a little bit before about that, and she mentioned that like you have all these first members who joined with you like from the very beginning of opening the space and just still working with you. So it's really exciting, and I'm sure our conversation today will be super insightful on that. And for those who are totally new to the customer retention, I will briefly introduce that retention in the co-working spaces is defined by how many members renew their memberships with you within the specific period of time. Normally, retention rates in co-working spaces rise between 80 to 90%. It's impossible to do it always 100%, as all of you understand, but still, there are many ways how you can influence it. For example, first thing to do is to measure your retention rate, understanding how many members you have at the beginning of the month and how many members you have at the end of the month who decide to continue this renewal of their memberships. Also, make sure that you always work with those customers who are your target audience, because if you leave those people who just do not like the working space, you don't actually have to retain them. Deliver exceptional services, make sure that your customers love your space, and ask your customers for the feedback. Make sure to talk to your community. We will cover all of these topics today. And my first question to Liz on that would be on how did it happen for the Generator Hub in realizing your target audience? What potential challenges you had with this, and how quickly you realized what is your how your ideal customer profile looks like?
So I guess the first thing to say, we didn't originally have any official process. We were kind of just learning as we went along. We didn't have anything to guide us. We were the first and only co-work space in Exeter, which was really exciting. So we didn't have any competitors. We were quite tugged into the business network within Exeter, which is really important because that's really how we got our first members to come along. You know, the open plan space that we had was very no frills. It was blue carpets, suspended ceilings, fluorescent lighting. So it's very no frills. You know, people really wanted to come because they aligned with our beliefs in kind of having a community. You know, it was people working from home that didn't have anyone else to bounce ideas off. So predominantly, initially, I'd say freelancers and sort of single people that were, you know, working with other companies, but on their own in the location. So we really, the company built organically. We never really advertised or anything. It was just word of mouth initially. And as we took on more space, we could then really welcome in sort of bigger companies, you know, teams of like 4 to 6, maybe 10 at the most. But yes, the challenges I'd say that we didn't really talk to people about what they did initially. And in one case, we had a lovely lady, but she was very salesy and she would be on the phone constantly saying exactly the same text every day, all day. And it kind of annoyed quite a few people around her to the point we had to keep moving her and sort of building a sound wall around her just to contain her. So yeah, I think now we are more specific when we have people coming to the, we will ask them, you know, what their business is and try and make sure it's the right fit for them.
Cool. That's a really interesting challenge with like having someone from the sales team as your member and making sure that other people are really comfortable about it. And really cool that you like found that recommendation for that member and just like managed to keep your community still happy about that. Just to summarize what you shared, I also want to like provide a few checkmarks from my side. So basically, before beating yourself up, like why you have that member leaving your space today, and so what exactly they do not like, make sure to identify your target audience and just compare that member who left, whether they are actually your customer for whom you're aiming to save to sell your services, or maybe they are just someone who does not fit your community. So as Liz mentioned, it's really something what you see from the very beginning, right? You just open the co-working space, you see already what people live there and what people live nearby that's co-working, essentially. So it will be really easy to get to know them just by chatting to each other, understand their interests during having some chit chat at the kitchen, and make sure to at the very beginning of opening your space, like just talking to people, realizing what they like, what they don't like, and what occupation they have, for example, of what age they are, and what target audience you expect to have in your space. So you could aim maybe only for freelancers, right? Or maybe you want to build a working space only for corporate companies, and so on. For bigger co-working spaces, of course, it's when especially you already have like ready community to work with. Surveys work really great when you make them regularly and you ask people about their interests, finding out what they actually where they work, right? What services they expect to get. And of course, make sure to analyze your members' activity by when you provided some service to them, check it out if your target audience reacted to it somehow, did they like it or they did not like it, yeah, and what to do next. One of the most powerful strategies of building a community is community bonding, and that's when you help your members not just gather together, like sit together at the desk working, but helping them to connect with each other and finding their business partners there, finding their friends. All these things create this emotional connection to your space, so you could always just rely on your community, and making sure that if you like just go out from your space today as administrator, as a community manager, your members will easily like resolve their issues which with each other, communicate easily, join all these events which you organize, and they won't leave your space when you have like another space, your competitor, open and right next to their door, for example. From my side, I want to share on this topic that I would identify these three essentials of community bonding. That's first of all about providing time to connect on just giving your customers an option to register for regular events. For example, when you have some pizza party every Friday, there are more chances that people will join it because they know that it happens every Friday. I wonder, Liz, what did it work in your case in Generator Hub? How did you start helping your members to connect with each other and build those connections, build networking?
So initially at the beginning, I would say it was always Friday beers. Friday beers was the big pull. Now you find a lot of people don't actually work Fridays because of the 4-day working week. So we've had to incorporate new activities. So we do a monthly networking session. Obviously, we're right down on the quayside. It's just on the doorstep. We do a half-hour loop of the Exeter Quay. We have a regular lunch and learn session, so we invite internal members to come and talk about their business. We have a lot of external companies that contact us who want to talk about their businesses. So we will have little gatherings every month in the community area. We have Birthday Biscuit Club, so where we celebrate everybody's birthday that month. You don't have to have a birthday and eat the biscuit, so it's just a way to gather everybody around. Yesterday was the hottest day in the UK. I think it got to 28. We brought ice lollies in for everybody, so it's just to get everybody away from their desk and having a chat together. We do a lot of charity fundraisers. So the most recent one was for a charity called Hopeful. We did a quiz and fizz night, sold tickets, raised about £700 to get pizzas out onto the streets of Ukraine. And actually one of the Exeter City Football Club members came and joined in the quiz, which was brilliant, and bought loads of merchandise that we could auction off. So that was good fun. We do the annual Christmas party. We have Eurovision night. We have the FIFA sweepstake, which is ongoing at the moment. We've had camping trips in the past. We've done beach cleans. And then we've actually had a syndicate boat purchase. So 5 of us purchased a boat. So we'd all kind of share that, which was good fun. We also have networking groups that come and use the space. So the Jelly Southwest will come and bring like cohorts of freelancers for free. They will just come and sit at the community section and kind of network with the members. We also have our newsletter that goes out monthly. And then we allow members within the space.
Yeah, it's really great. I think everyone must sign up for Generator Hub's newsletter to track what events you have.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we also allow members to run their own charity event. So we had a team selling cakes the other day to raise money for hospice care. And then we have one of our AI companies runs a monthly networking session. Another one does Curiously Code. So that will bring external people into the generator, and they can, see the space, and we get more people signing up potentially. So yeah, we highlight things on the TV slides internally, and also on LinkedIn. So things that are actually going on around the local area, we will highlight those and get people kind of interacting really. But also the Spacebring app, which I must mention has really helped with that. So we've got the chat function on there, and all sorts of other things. We've got our network photograph wall, so you can actually see who people are and what they do. So yeah, it's great.
Great, thank you. And I think that every attendee of this webinar must right now just write down all those ideas for the events which you mentioned, and also implement them in their spaces. I don't know from where you take all these ideas. They really sound amazing, and for me, it's cool that you always provide all that extra mile for your customers when you have not just some regular events as you mentioned, but you also had the hottest day in the UK and you bought ice cream. People really love such surprises, and it's a great chance for them just to go out from their workstation, have a chat with each other, and while eating that ice cream, find new friends. So really exciting. I also want to mention here that the space itself must also provide certain facilities together with community, because if you have just open space and no chill zone, or maybe even no round table at the kitchen where people can eat and have that lunch together, it also does not allow you to provide those events eventually, right? Because you always need one place to gather with people. And providing like-minded community, like-minded members to other peer members is also essential, since people will be able to connect with each other by their interests. As you mentioned, you have that stand in Generator Hub space with photos of members, and statements of what they do, right? What interests they have, and it's really great when you have it stated somewhere physical in the space, when you can help your members connect with each other. And of course, in Spacebring, we also encourage all of our customers to use chats, for example, to have members connected with each other and open up community to everyone, so you could easily see what this member is doing or where they're working and so on. And when you already have this community ready, your next step would be to make sure you take good care of all of these customers and facilitate the growth. And there are really a lot of ways to do that. But I would say that the main strategy which you should use is just to provide top-notch services on every single level. For example, make sure that you create that hassle-free environment for your customers whenever they come to your space, whenever they get any service. So nothing just breaks down when they book a room, for example, or when they want to make a payment with you. So having a reliable system is really important, and make sure that you also give your team some time, some free time to build that community. Because if I'm sure Liz will agree with me that if someone from your team would just sit next to their desk every day and issuing invoices manually or just making bookings for members, it would be not so much, they would not just have energy to work on creating events, or talking to your members. So make sure to delegate routine tasks to technology, other systems, just to free up their time to build that community. Work with feedback. It's incredibly important to have one clear issue reporting channel where you can tell your members that, please, if you have any question, just ask us here. So your community also, when they have some issues, problems, when they are unhappy about someone or something, they can just, they know where they should report it and not just be angry at you and potentially even like send something, even some general message, general channel with your members complaining. And of course, celebrate the wins. When you delivered some great service to your customers, make sure to mention it to them. Very often people miss it out. They just do not notice that you added a new Skype room or that you maybe improved an equipment in the kitchen. So do not be shy on that. Let people know. And also in this, to do this, you would need to have a centralized system to reach that, because that's where if you go for one system where you just inform your customers on, okay, here is your issue reporting channel, here is our like feed with everyone, people will be much easier to read all that. It will be much easier for them like to find that information, and of course they won't have any issues with like getting some news or updates from you. I wonder how it happens in the generator hub right now with facilitating the growth for your already quite huge community. Like, how do you work with sales? How do you automate all that tasks which you already have with your members? What do you do?
So yeah, we still haven't really actively advertised. We haven't paid for advertisement. It really is word of mouth, which is great. We have certain tasks. We're a small team. There's really only 3 directors, and then we have Rena, our community manager, and then we have 3 front of house staff that kind of rotate the front desk. So we are a small team. So we delegate certain activities to everybody, and which is great. So we do focus quite a bit on social media. We use Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn to kind of highlight things that are going on in the space, highlight companies that have maybe come in to hire a meeting room, that sort of thing. I think it's very important to hire engaging staff. You can't just have someone sat on the front desk that's not going to interact with people.
Mm-hmm.
We're very lucky that everybody that we've hired at the moment is very engaging. They will, see where the collaborations lie and introduce people to each other. The other thing I would say is to go to networking groups within your local area. Have a presence in your community so people know who you are, what you can offer, and what you do, basically. So we are involved with the Exeter Chamber here. We go to lots of their meetup groups. We're also part of the Devon Work Hubs. So this is like part of the council, and they bring all the independent co-work spaces together every month, and we discuss what's working well, what's not working well, what we could do better, maybe we could help each other. We do press releases as a group, which is great because it gets our voices out there. Also, like applying for local awards, so see what's going on in your area. We've applied for like the Space Award and won that in 2019. We applied for the 2023 Impact Award and came back as highly commended with that. So that's a nice way to kind of spread the word about what you do and where you are, and to really retain and engage that community. We offer charity discounts to CICs, discounts to NHS staff. We offer free tea and coffee, which is always a big hook for people. We offer flexibility really in what we offer. So it's not one size fits all. Everybody's different, every business is different. It's about talking to your customers, finding out what they want, what they need, and really kind of getting a package for them. Amazing Wi-Fi is a very, very important must. We've got gig over gig, which is super important, and a backup line in case that fails, which these things do. But really, the automated side of it for us has been a massive win-win. It's really freed up our staff's time. So we have the Spacebring app, which is brilliant. It's very easy to use. It means that people can see what's going on in little meeting rooms. If it's booked, if it's not booked, they can just pop in. So yeah, that's made a big difference to us as a business.
Exciting. Thanks for sharing that. I am sure that all these things which you mentioned, they make sense in when they happen in one just organized process, right? You cannot just provide, for example, good Wi-Fi, but forget about all the rest, and it won't drive growth and success of your business. So only when you have really all these processes organized, when you provide great reliable system to your customers, automate stuff, and make sure that you always engage with your customers, potential customers, and existing customers. All this really only in this case you can actually grow your community and attract more and more new members. With Generator Hub, we have really exciting story of your switch into Spacebring and how you managed to automate all those payments, invoicing, room bookings. I invite you all guys also to scan this QR code and read just the full details of it. So in general, it's really essential to never forget that once you gained that one customer, you also need to continue taking care of them. And when they come to your space, they go not just for a workstation, but they also need certain essential things to have in the space, which they don't want them to just irritate during the day. For example, having again all those easy way to connect with administrator, for example. Also having your very cheerful team is one of many important factors, and making sure that they always can get those services which they want to get easily with you, and just pay for them and get them in a few taps. And my next most important really a cool part, which I enjoy by myself to do it all the time with coworking spaces and analyze by myself, is just looking at the mistakes of other coworking spaces and thinking how it's possible to fix it. I prepared my own list of do's and don'ts. I also invite Liz to share what mistakes you had, maybe what mistakes you did with Generator Hub in retaining members and growing the community, or potentially what mistakes you think coworking space operators do right now.
So I think for us, it would be becoming a little bit too corporate. We're quite a laid-back co-work space, and we've found a lot of corporate co-work spaces popping up around us. Very high-end. You can go and get your shoes shined, and you can go and get your hair cut. Everything's very pristine. So I think for us, if we were to become that sort of corporate, we would lose a lot of our members because they don't want that. After the 3 directors, all of us actually physically come to the co-work space most days of the week, and we rent desks. We sit at a desk. We are involved in the community, so that's really. I think another issue would be not checking in with the members. So it's really important to check everyone's okay, check it's working for them. Also, not listening to if their needs change. We do find that some companies want to grow, some companies want to reduce. So it's kind of having those two-way conversations and making sure that everybody's on the same page. Not having a clear terms and conditions policy in place. We do have that, specifically around noise and kind of general behaviour in the co-work space. It's just important. So that's another important thing. And not really considering the impact that your business is having on the people and the planet. So we are starting our sort of sustainability journey, which I think is very important. And I think a lot more people are looking at that as a business. So I think it's a very good idea to have a green plan in place. We've looked at our carbon footprint. We want to, ideally go net zero by 2050. Looking at our energy suppliers. We've looked at going down the B Corp route, which is also very interesting, if you can have a look at that. So we are kind of on that journey now, and I think more and more people are looking for that sustainable co-work space. Some of the recommendations I would use are see people as individuals and see companies as unique. So, really listen to them. So, yeah.
Wow, that I even do not have anything to add to that. Your last sentence. I would agree to everything what you said, and it's also important when you understand why you do that business which you are doing. That you do not just like earn money with the co-working space, but you also like provide something what can benefit other people to grow in their profession, in their career, and so on. And I'm sure that co-working spaces are really a great place to grow with your company, with your business. And in addition to this, if you also add growing community and just like building community inside the space and making people find not only again that workstation but other people to connect with, maybe to do some webinar together, maybe find a new business partner and so on. All this is really something what I think can happen only in co-working spaces. And if you reach this, I'm sure your co-working space will never be abandoned by members, because they will be just getting back and back to you. Maybe let's look at our Q&A section. I wonder if we had any questions here for today. I heard that chat doesn't work. So guys, if you were trying to send us some chat messages, but it didn't work out, just feel free to ask us everything in the Q&A. Okay, cool. We have one question from someone who is anonymous attendee. I think this is the question for you, Liz. What was the most attended and profitable event for you in the Generator Hub? And whether you in general count the profitability, like I wonder if you earn money from events, because I think we haven't mentioned it earlier.
Events for earning money for the company, we wouldn't really do that. We'd always do events for charities. So the biggest charity event was probably the last one, where we did the quiz and fizz and had the footballer in and raised about £1,000 for Hopeful Charity.
Okay, thank you. We have another question here. What KPI do you use to measure customer retention and engagement? Okay, interesting. In general, I think that using that one general formula of counting member retention rate, it's already a lot, because not many co-working spaces do that, but it's pretty great to understand your financial figures in that. How do you do this in Generator Hub, and what KPIs you look at every month or every year?
Yeah, we have a massive spreadsheet of all our members, so all our hot deskers, all our co-clubbers, all our postal suppliers, and we will basically keep a tally of all of that. It's a little bit manual, but I think having the Spacebring app now will actually do a lot of that for us. So I think if we can build upon that, it will take away a lot of the manual stuff. But yeah, I think it's one of the things that we probably need to do a little bit better.
Okay, interesting. Then we will definitely do the webinar on analytics and counting KPIs with Spacebring application. So it's a great thing to look at with our customers. Question to Liz. Liz, you are just the star of this webinar. As you can see, all people can just want to know more of your experience. Do you work somehow with people that used to come to your space or used to be members, but they churned later on? Did you have such situation actually? And if you had, how did you resolve them? Like, did you get those members back or not?
So sorry, could you just repeat the first bit of the question?
Yeah, so the question is, do you work somehow with people that used to come to your space before or used to be the members, but then they decided to leave? So do you work somehow with those churned customers, trying to retain them, maybe get back to them later via email, something like that?
Yeah, we've kept in touch with a lot of previous members. Some have maybe gone off on maternity leave. Some have maybe had a bit of a job change. So we will always keep them. A lot of them actually still on our communication apps, and they will come and join in some of the events, and that's absolutely fine. They'll come to the Christmas party still, which is brilliant because it's nice to have those sort of older members coming and joining the newer members. So we do always try and keep up communication with them where possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. If you had a fresh start, what would you do differently?
Not probably not being a grade 2 listed building, although it's beautiful, it does come with a lot of headache. So we have a landlord and we have a building manager. But we had the car park resurfaced for a lot of money, and it's leaked ever since then. So we're always dealing with a few issues around that. But apart from that, it's really just building issues, I would say.
Mm-hmm. It's really something what I would say those people who start the co-working space, they might not think about that as the issue which they can help, because yeah, having right construction from the very beginning is important, so you do not have like to destroy the whole space later on to start it anew. And let's cover one last question for today. It's how many community managers should we hire for a 100 member community? Interesting. How many community managers do you have? I know that you have small team, like 3 people or something like that. So, but you manage more than 100 members.
Yeah.
So,
We
who is a community manager in the
So
generator?
Rina Vita is our community manager, and she is amazing. She's from Finland. She's actually currently in Finland for 3 weeks. So I kind of step into her role and do her role and my role as well. So it's been quite an intense 3 weeks. But she is extremely engaged with the community. She gets invited to all the celebration days and nights and meals out and everything. We don't get invited so much these days because she's so in the thick of it. Definitely 1 for 100, I would say. As long as you've got, if you've got a reception desk, you need that front of house members as well. So it just frees up her time to go and do some of the finance or some of the community engagement. So yeah, that's our business model really.
Wow, great. And I would also say that when you have one person, at least like one community manager in your space, which is truly engaged and who has time again to do all that engagement with members, listen to them, maybe collect the feedback, implement that, all this really creates a great difference for your community. And actually, just if one person can do it in a great way, it's already like really huge achievement, because if you have just 3 community managers who are not engaged at all, they do not even know the names of the members, I think that it won't help you. And so yeah, it's really important to hire right staff as a community manager and make sure that they also they also have resources, time resources first of all, to do all that community job.
Yeah, 100%.
Great. It seems that we finished with all our questions for today. It was really exciting conversation. Liz, I am really super thankful for your time to join us today and share all your experience. I'm sure that really all people must sign up for Generator Hub's newsletter and just to see what kind of community you have. So I invite everyone to visit Generator Hub's site and social media. They do really a great promotion of their space there. And to all Spacebring community, everyone who joined us today, also really thankful for your time. To visit us, feel free to contact us if you have any more questions on community topic. We will be happy to follow up with you on that and just provide more assistance if necessary. So thanks everyone once again, and have a wonderful rest of your week and wonderful weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.